Welcome back to NFL 84, and we say hello to those of you who have been watching the Buffalo-St. Louis and the New England-Miami games. Let's check the scoreboard. First of all, in that Patriot-Dolphin encounter, Ron Meyer takes the Pats into the Orange Bowl, where they haven't won since they were known as the Boston Patriots way back in 1966. Miami has beaten New England 16 consecutive times on this field. Now, after a scoreless first quarter, Steve Grogan drops back to throw for New England. It's intercepted by Glenn Blackwood. He'll dance around a bit, turn it into a good return, back to about the Miami 45-yard line. And then at that point, Miami embarks on the game's first scoring drive, and here is how it ends. From the 35-yard line, the flea flicker to Jim Jensen, the third-string quarterback, into the end zone. Beautifully thrown ball and a leaping catch by Mark Duper. There was some question as to whether or not he had stayed in after juggling it, but the catch was good. New England immediately strikes back. 90-yard drive culminated by this 9-yard flip to tight end Lynn Dawson. Ties the game up at 7-7. During that drive, Irving Fryer, the #1 draft choice for the Patriots, caught his first NFL pass. They are late in the first half at Soldier Field in Chicago, and the Bears are on their way to going 2-0. They lead Denver by a score of 27-0. There's John Elway, #7, sidelined by a sore shoulder and standing next to Coach Dan Reeves. He watches in the first quarter as the Bears, already leading 3-0, make it 10-0 on this beauty. A 61-yarder from Jim McMahon to the speedster Willie Gauld. And then Walter Payton goes to work. In the second quarter, a 72-yard scamper. Sweetness is already over 100 yards for the afternoon in the first half alone. That made it 17-0. Moments ago, Matsui scored to make it 27-0. And look what happened earlier in the first half. Kubiak is belted by Tyrone Keys. He had to be taken out on a stretcher, and that meant that Elway, despite the fact that he is ailing, had to come back into the game to quarterback the Broncos, who trail it 27-0. They are at halftime at the Meadowlands, and Phil Simms is on fire. 2 more touchdown passes. Yes, that's right. The Giants lead the Cowboys 21-zip at halftime. Also at halftime in Atlanta, Detroit is in front of the Falcons. The score there, 17-10. Bill McAtee, what's going on?
Bob, well, the Cardinals have reached agreement with their #1 draft choice, Clyde Duncan, the fine wide receiver out of the University of Tennessee, who played behind Willie Gauld, but it doesn't look like Neil Lomax needs him. He has had an excellent first half. Kay Stevenson has been frustrated in the first half. Cardinals took a 3-0 lead on a Neil O'Donoghue field goal, and then this punt return by Stump Mitchell of 38 yards brought the ball down to the 20-yard line of the Bills, and that set the stage for Mr. Lomax to go to work. 2 plays later in the first quarter, Neil Lomax, a 4-yard touchdown pass to #81, Roy Green. And then later in the first quarter, Lomax again, another 4-yarder to #32, Otis Anderson. The extra point was good. It was 17-0 Cardinals. Anderson scored on a 2-yard run a bit later, 24-0 Cardinals. And you have to like the job that Todd Blackledge did in his first pro start last week against the Steelers. He is building on that again today. Sam White still looking for his first win as a head coach for the Bengals, and Blackledge hit this 46-yard TD pass to Anthony Hancock, who makes a great catch. Watch this catch in traffic, the third-year man out of the University of Tennessee. But the Bengals caught a break, and you got to figure that Carlos Carson would like a chance to catch this ball back again. He misses it, tipped into the hands of Ray Horton, who replaced Ken Riley. He goes all the way. It was 14-7 Kansas City. The Bengals tied it up a bit later on a 2-yard run by Charles Alexander. It's 14-14. Halftime down at Louisiana Superdome, 10-7. The Buccaneers lead this ball game. Minnesota and Philadelphia, it has been a defensive struggle. It is 6-3. Paul McFadden has hit 2 field goals for the Eagles, one of 37 yards, and Bob, one of 27 yards.
Bill, you mentioned St. Louis having their own way with Buffalo. There are those who think the Cardinals will be the dark horse team in the NFL this year. Team to watch.
Yes, sir.
All right, stay with us now as NFL 84 halftime activities continue. We're coming back following these messages and a word from your local stations.